God, she's not able to defend her positions, which is pretty funny because it's like they have no positions. They have nothing, which is why it's kind of funny to watch them, it's funny to watch the Republican Party and the machine, okay? The Republican Party machine crumbling in and of itself as they freak out that like the guys that they put into positions of power because they went too far to the right are literally just saying, no, we're going to do more Republican shit. This is what I'm supposed to do. I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you. Can you give us a short recap on how many votes we've had? We're on the 9th one. And on day one, there were 19 holdouts. The number of holdouts have increased, as a matter of fact, over the course of the past 3 days. We're on the 9th vote at this point, and it seems like the number of holdouts that are no longer interested in voting for Kevin McCarthy are increasing. It's a real... What's that famous movie about jury duty? Like, what, 12 Angry Men? It seems like it's happening. It's like a 12 Angry Men situation. So, for the record, again, for all the force the voters out there, even if, like, let's say Matt Gaetz is, like, successful, right? Matt Gaetz and Lobo and them are successful, right? Understand that ultimately, okay, what Matt Gaetz is advocating for and what all these shitheads are advocating for is no different than one another. Do you understand? It's not any different. Like, it doesn't matter who the fucking Speaker of the House is. Whereas the left, the progressive left, okay, if you take what they say seriously, have a fundamentally different worldview and a fundamentally different interest than the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, okay? They are actually in contention with one another. They're actually fighting against one another versus the hyper right wing, the extreme right wing, okay, and the rest of the Republican Party, which is pretty fucking far right regardless, are not actually fighting. They're fighting on like immaterial, marginal, aesthetic shit. That's it. CNN, House reconvenes with still no speaker elected. McCarthy wants to no vote tonight, says talks progressing, which was a lie. Twitter files. What we've learned about the FBI. Tucker Carlson literally just like takes shots at Kevin McCarthy and then turns around and covers like nonsensical bullshit. The person who's been doing the Lord's work, as a matter of fact, is not Tucky Boy. It's actually Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity is pissed, okay? He's fucking pissed. He's royally pissed. He's like, Hannity hot seat time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch. Here is Sean Hannity giving it to Lobo a little bit, Lauren Boebert.
Hi, time now tonight for the Hannity hot seat, and tonight we're joined by a Republican who opposed Kevin McCarthy's bid for Speaker on every single ballot. That is Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, and she says negotiations with McCarthy.
Why wouldn't the progressive wing just do this to secure more committee positions? In the same situation, I would hope the progressive wing would fight it. That's really interesting you said that, because the progressive wing did get committee positions. So you're literally describing what AOC should have done, while simultaneously living in a world where AOC did do that before even holding out the vote. They did that. They literally did that. They did. They got a fuckload. That's why Ilhan Omar was on the fucking Foreign Policy Committee, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Why would Ilhan Omar, a person who is like fundamentally against the military-industrial complex, sit on any matters involved with foreign policy? Sit on a committee that touches foreign policy. They did. They, as young as they are, as new as they are, they 1,000,000% got a fuckload of committee positions. They did. It was just dealt with. You never told that chatter, so they didn't know. No, I did. I've talked about this before during the Force to Vote saga. The Force to Vote saga was not about like holding out so you can get committee positions. The Force to Vote saga was about like forcing the vote, literally, for Medicare for all, so that it could be fucking eviscerated by the Democratic Party.
have been ongoing since the summer, but that her demands are not being taken seriously. Now, meanwhile, Kevin McCarthy's camp is now reportedly trying to determine which of the 20 votes against him are because of a...
As if the committee makes a difference to the MIC. It doesn't. You're absolutely correct on that. You're right. You're right on that. Tackling America's foreign policy or its military-industrial complex is literally like the most difficult part of this process. I would say that America, okay, as an institution, as an organization, as a country, is more likely to get fucking socialized medicine than destroy the engine that fuels capitalism, global capitalism, which is American imperialism, which is the military-industrial complex. So yes, I think that, and I believe that it's insanely difficult to even get Medicare for all. Okay, I think it's insanely difficult to get Medicare for all even. So that is even harder than that.
Policy disagreement versus a personal vendetta. Here now with reaction is Congresswoman Boebert. Now, Congresswoman, you tweet, Town Hall quoted you today saying the president, you said complimentary things about President Trump, needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes. It's time to withdraw. Let me turn the tables, Congresswoman. Kevin McCarthy has 203 votes. Your side has 20. So if I'm going to use your words and your methodology and your math, isn't it time for you to pack it in and your side to pack it in, considering he has over 200 and you have 20?
Sean, I understand the frustration. I promise you, but
I'm not frustrated. You didn't answer my question.
And we are hearing.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Don't put it in the news. Don't write it in the newspaper that I'm mad. I'm not mad. Even though he does fucking own her a little bit, which is pretty fun. I mean, he's right. He's right. Lobo is also, low-hanging fruit. Like, she's not even able to fucking... God, she's not able to defend her positions, which is pretty funny because it's like, they have no positions. They have nothing, which is why it's kind of funny to watch them, it's funny to watch the Republican Party and the machine, okay? The Republican Party machine crumbling in and of itself as they fucking freak out that, like, the guys that they put into positions of power because they went too far fucking to the right are literally just saying, no, we're going to do more Republican shit. This is what I'm supposed to do. I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you. My job is to obstruct, so now I'm obstructing. And they're like, hold on. That's not how you're supposed to obstruct. They love obstructing so much, they are obstructing themselves. Why are they holding up the vote? There is literally, look, I tell you when I know things. I tell you what my speculations are. I unironically cannot comprehend why they're doing this. Because ultimately, okay, it doesn't matter who the speaker is. Do you understand? It doesn't make sense. When you ask them personally why they're doing it, their answers are fucking psychotic. Their answers literally are like, we want the American debt to default. Like, what? What are you saying right now? That's insane. We want bedlam and chaos? That's psychotic. That's just like an insane thing. Honestly, it's because they just personally probably don't like Kevin McCarthy. And that's it. It's got to be like a personal vendetta. Because like they literally, because Kevin McCarthy is a cuck, okay? And he has personally given like a lot of concessions already. And the more concessions they get, and I can't believe I'm saying this again, but like Jesse Waters said it perfectly. But the more concessions they get, the more they want, because it's not about concessions. It's just they don't want Kevin McCarthy to be the Speaker of the House. And I think it's motivated by personal vendetta for the most part. Now, what's funny about this entire process, okay? What's funny about this entire process, ultimately, is just like Jesse Waters said, and I'm using his fucking awful person. I'm using this awful person because his analogy is correct. This is a hostage situation, and the demands of the hostage holders is to kill the hostage. So you're in a bind. Like, you can't actually fix it. He's right. And friend of the show, Jamel Bowie, says, at this point, if you're a never Kevin type, why would you ever stop? You're getting tons of media attention, and you get to humiliate an enemy again and again. What more could you want? Also, never Kevin sounds like what you say after someone says to you that we need to talk about Kevin. Anyway, there's not a single thing to incentivize governing for congressional Republicans, and many things that incentivize chaos, including the fact that Kevin McCarthy will do anything just to make it stop. Yeah. It's it. That's it. Continue.
Many
Frustrated.
people who are still voting with Kevin McCarthy,
You're
who are
not answering my
very
question.
supportive of what we're doing, and they're cheering us on. So there are more for us than are against us, and they are waiting for Kevin to cave.
Okay.
The American people are
Congresswoman.
certainly frustrated by.
I'm frustrated by you not answering a direct question. You said to President Trump, you said earlier today that President Trump needs to tell Kevin McCarthy,
does not have
you don't have the votes.
We need to come up with a consensus candidate to elect a Speaker of the House.
You don't have the votes, and it's time to withdraw. He has 203. Your side has 20. Why is it time for him to withdraw and not you when he has so many more votes?
Well, Sean, he needs 218, and he does not have 218. We've been trying to work this
you.
out in private, as you said, for months. But Kevin McCarthy didn't even want to listen to us until his disappointing midterms. We all want a unified party, but this isn't chaos. It's a functioning constitutional republic. When everything is said and done,
okay, I like the
House
cliche.
Republicans will be stronger and better prepared to lead than we ever have before. I believe that this is what our founding fathers intended, and this is showing
yesterday
that our votes are working. Our votes aren't just a cast
Congresswoman, I'd ask you not to filibuster. Yesterday you voted, and Jim Jordan was your choice. Today it was Byron Donalds who was your choice. Tomorrow, I don't know who you're going to vote for. But the bottom line is you still only have 20 votes. Let me ask you this. Kevin McCarthy...
I think we're proving that we're open to a menu of options. Many different people.
You're proving that 20 people don't...
Yeah. Sean Hannity here actually brings up a really good point. Okay? I watched this and I could not believe it. Where he is going to turn around and ask a very good question right here.
Don't want Kevin McCarthy at this time. But my question to you is this.
We are proving that there are many options.
My question to you is, did you support Kevin McCarthy's commitments to America? And do you...
This is not the question. This is just like him basically pandering, saying like, oh, do you care about Kevin McCarthy's policies? Like, why are you against America or whatever, right? Like, which is basic stuff. Let her cook.
Believe that he's going to follow through on his written promises?
Not this part. Here, it's coming up after this.
His commitment to America is not as strong as I would like it to be. And we have been working on the rules to change.
It's like, what are you saying? Like, what do you mean Kevin McCarthy's commitment to America is not as strong as I want it to be? So what is it? What's your commitment to America? Like, I'm not even defending Kevin McCarthy. Like, fuck Kevin McCarthy. But, like, also, the fuck do you mean? You guys are the same. Like, you guys are the same pieces of shit, straight up. What are you talking about?
The structure of how Washington, D.C. is run and operated. Sean, you know more than anybody how broken this town is. This is something that we have an opportunity to rebuild, to restructure.
Congresswoman,
and it takes the right tools and the right leadership to do that.
Border security, energy independence, debt reduction,
and when we asked him to put forward the Texas-built border plan, he refused.
And then, well, he's willing to bring back the exact plan that worked under Donald Trump. And then he also has pledged investigations into the FBI and DOJ, the influence peddling of the Biden family, the origins of COVID and Anthony Fauci, the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
My question is, right speaker.
Do you support...
And it's not going to be Kevin McCarthy.
Do you support all of those agenda items he promised?
Of course I do, but I do not trust Kevin McCarthy at this point to deliver on those promises, especially when I go into good faith negotiations with him, and then he comes out and lies about what those conversations were, saying that members demanded
that's your characterization. He's not here to answer.
We want...
So let me ask you this.
He's already apologized to one member in private because he won't apologize to him in public for spreading lies.
Wait a minute. Walgreens executive says maybe we cried too much last year about theft? Stop. Where are all the Redditors now? Where are all the Redditors? Where is everybody? Where are all the people that fucking screamed at me because they were like, Hassan, you're just pro-theft. You're pro-theft. You're a piece of shit. When I said they're just lying. They're lying and greatly overstating the concerns they have over retail theft. That's crazy. That's so interesting. Is that another fucking precog, pre-watch Piker moment? Shocked. Shocked to fucking find out. Shocked. The company made investments in the private security guards, but they've proven largely ineffective, Kehoe said. Maybe we cried too much last year, Chief Financial Officer James Kehoe said. Walgreens acknowledged it may have overblown concerns about theft in their stores after shrinkage stabilized over the past year. The top Walgreens executive on Thursday acknowledged the company may have overblown concerns about thefts in their stores after shrinkage stabilized over the last year. During an earnings call, the company's chief financial officer, James Kehoe, said shrinkage was about 3.5% of sales last year, but that number is now closer to the mid-twos. He also said the company would consider moving away from hiring private security guards. Maybe we cried too much last year, Kehoe said. We've stabilized, he added, saying the company is quite happy with where we are. Shrinkage is the difference between a company's recorded inventory on their balance sheet and its actual inventory. It primarily accounts for items that were shoplifted, but also includes inventory that was damaged, lost, or stolen by employees. Over the last 2 years, Walgreens has been raising the alarm about increased theft. As a result, it hired private security guards and locked up merchandise so it can't be accessed without a store associate. Shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Shocked, I tell you, dude. Kehoe said the company has spent a fair amount to crack down on the thefts, but acknowledged the private security companies they've hired have been largely ineffective. These guards can do very little but call law enforcement or hold a suspect until police arrive. We've put in incremental security in the stores in the first quarter. Actually, probably we put in too much. We might step back a little bit from that. The company's using more law enforcement as opposed to private security, he added. Shrinkage is such an abused metric that retail used to hold it up as theft, even though that shit is just broken or lost during shipping. How many times, wait, getting my rebuttal ready, pal. How many times Walgreens robbed ever on earth and include unarmed? Yeah, just watch out. Oh, wait till I'm done Googling this shit, dude. I'm going to fucking destroy you, bitch. Anyway, let's get back to the fucking Sean Hannity evisceration. I'm sorry that I skipped through to that moment of leftist gloating, as always.
About that meeting.
Here's my question. So you and others fought hard for a motion to vacate, with only 5 Republicans able to trigger that motion. Kevin McCarthy didn't want to give it to you, but he did give it to you in the end. To me, that's kind of an insurance policy. Can I finish?
But he didn't all the way. He did
Wait
not.
a minute.
Sure.
He gave you what you asked for. And one of the things that I've been asking people, I'm asking you tonight, who is your final choice for speaker? And if you can't get more than, let's say...
This is the great question. This is the great question. Here, this is actually this is like surprisingly solid reporting.
Who is your final choice for speaker?
They will never do this for anything meaningful, okay? Journalists will never do this for anything meaningful. They will only do this because Sean Hannity is upset currently.
Speaker, and if you can't get more than, let's say, 30 votes, will you follow your own advice that you were asking Donald Trump and withdraw?
There are certainly names that are being floated around, and hey, maybe I should nominate President Donald J. Trump tomorrow. But Sean, I did watch your show last night, and I want to set the record straight on this motion.
We're going to pick Jim Jordan one day, Donald's the other day, Trump the next day?
This motion to vacate, because he did not give us this motion to vacate. I'm showing there's a whole consensus of other candidates that could be nominated.
I'm trying to understand how you're thinking
this motion
here.
to vacate, Sean, you need to understand that Kevin McCarthy did not give us my hard red line.
He fought for it.
And this is a century-old, no, he did not.
No, well, I know that he made the promise.
That was written by Thomas Jefferson. And
I know he made the promise
since
because
1837 with 5 members, Sean, with 5 members, not
That's
one
right,
member
5.
to offer the motion to vacate.
So my question is,
there's who wrote this rule? She said 1837. So here's what I don't understand, okay? Like, Thomas Jefferson died in 1826. Okay? Let's say that's your talking point, which is like, this has been a rule in place since like 1837. Like, what are you fucking lying about? Like, what did you not do any kind of research to like cook up a good enough fucking counter to this shit? Like, you've been on, even if you're doing this specifically for TV slots, okay, you're doing this to like build your own, brand as like a truth-telling, bold Republican patriot who's going against the institutional powers, right? You had a month to cook up good-ass fucking talking points. Why are you winging it? It doesn't make sense. Why? Like, especially someone like Lobo, who is literally fucking so stupid. Like, she's not smart. She is not smart at all. I don't understand how I guess she like misspoke. And we're not even talking about why we should be listening to fucking slavers, but also we're not even talking about whether or not like being able to vote out a speaker of the House of Representatives with 5 votes is a bad thing or not, cuz like it kind of isn't the worst thing. I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Like I want to agree with some of these demands. If you're going to set term limits, love that. That's perfect. It's not going to happen. This is not the best way to do it. But like, it does give each individual representative more power. Okay? But like, even when I'm supposed to be fucking agreeing with this person, okay, because of like the things that they're supposedly advocating for, I can't. And it's not because like it's not because like, oh, I'm too caught up on the fucking aesthetics or whatever. It's like, dude, you don't give a shit. And 2, that's not the reason. That's not the reason why you're actually fucking causing a commotion. And 3, you didn't even fucking research what you said.
Nancy Pelosi's
term limit increase, regulatory capture. Oh my God. I have heard all the fucking lobbyist jargon on this, okay? You are unironically advocating for lobbyist shit. Listen, man. Listen. I get it. You're going to say because of term limits, if you put term limits here, I know what the steel man is, okay? Term limits ultimately are something that lobbyists definitely want, because like that way, when you have fresh congresspersons, okay, they don't know how to read the legislation, and therefore they will be over-reliant on, lobbyists, as a matter of fact. Like, get the fuck out of here. No, they craft those relationships through fucking... No. They craft those relationships through years and years and years of work. That's precisely the reason why green congressmen are unironically, oftentimes, way better, with the exceptions of like Kirsten Sinema and shit, okay, than old institutionalized geriatric pieces of shit. What, you think you're really going to tell me that Dianne Feinstein is a better legislator because she's been around since like, since writing was invented, since the beginning of history? Is that what you're unironically saying? No. Lobbyists craft the legislation for old fucks just as well as they would try to craft it for young fucks. The point is, they want to save their fucking seats and they want to max out on their fucking wealth. Okay? She was there when they made the Rosetta Stone. Exactly. I mean, Dianne Feinstein is literally older than the invention of toasted white bread, okay? Sliced white bread as toast is unironically Younger than Dianne Feinstein, bro. That's like not even a joke. That's not even a joke. Think about that. Feinstein was around when Jefferson wrote whatever the fuck Boebert is lying about. Yeah.
You haven't answered my question. So if you have,
you cannot
yesterday you supported, yesterday you supported Jordan. Today you're supporting
Sean.
Donald.
That's not the way this works. We need a check and a balance on the third in line.
Who
to
is
the
your
presidency.
Let's have a final answer.
Who
do you want to be Speaker of the House?
Maybe that's for the conference to decide. We need to come together.
Who do you want? I'm asking who you want.
What does it look like, life after Kevin? We need to find somebody who can actually unify the Republican Party. I have offered plenty of names. Let some other folks start offering other alternatives.
There are 203 people, and you have 20. I respect the 20 of you. I respect all of you. But I'm asking you, based on your own words,
you as well.
Who is your final? Let's have a final answer. Who do you want? Who will you only support to be Speaker? It's not that hard.
I am willing to have conversations with the Republican conference to come up with a consensus candidate. We are offering people right now. It doesn't have to be a member of the Freedom Caucus. It doesn't even have to be a solid conservative.
By the way,
but we have
more than half the Freedom Caucus supports McCarthy. So you don't even have a name.
Because
and we're now going into day 3.
Afraid.
I hate this. I hate
when
it.
You are
I hate it so much.
By committee of the Freedom Caucus, it doesn't even have to be a solid conservative.
By the way,
but we have
more than half the Freedom Caucus supports McCarthy. So you don't even have a name.
Because
and we're now going into day 3.
Are afraid when you are threatened by committee chairmen to not be placed by steering members.
Right, let me ask a final question. If your final candidate
on a committee, and then Kevin McCarthy affirms that, that's a scary place to be. We are here to legislate. We are here to get the country back on track. And when you have people making threats like that, it's difficult to make that decision. But we are going to get there. I am fine doing this. We're in day 2. It's okay. The government isn't spending money, sending it to Ukraine, so the American taxpayers are certainly winning.
Politically, Congresswoman, you and I agree on most things. We don't disagree on many things.
Yes, we do, Sean.
And I do have respect for you.
And I believe that history will show that I'm on the right side of this, Sean.
Well, you can believe in your position, but I'm using your words. You said to President Trump, you said, we're very clear. He doesn't have 218, so you need to ask him to withdraw. If by Friday, you and your group of 20 don't have a name with 30 votes, is it time for you to withdraw? And if not, why do you support a double standard? Last question.
Kevin McCarthy does not have 218 votes. Kevin McCarthy will not be Speaker.
And you have 20.
Kevin
I asked you a very specific question. If by Friday you don't have 30,
I will not, Sean. I will not withdraw. Our asks were not petty of Kevin McCarthy. They were not self-serving. We simply were asking for commitments on what the American people want to see. They want to see a vote on term limits, a vote on the Texas border plan to secure the southern border. And for crying out loud, Sean, we asked for a vote on a budget that actually balances. Imagine a Congress that stops spending money that we don't have.
So if you only have 30 people supporting you,
and we are going to get the right Speaker, Sean.
If you only have 30, to be clear, you will not withdraw.
30 is going to be a beautiful number to reach.
But you're telling Kevin McCarthy.
Dude, this is so funny. Like, oh, I love this, man. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. They're like the most annoying shitheads. You know what I mean? They are the most annoying pieces of shit. And now they have like a little bit of fucking power, and they're getting a taste of it too. They're getting a taste of like flexing it. Oh, you can't stop them. Oh, it's awesome. What an incredible way to start the year. Even though fucking Twitch is not allowing me to do my job adequately. Holy fuck, it's so annoying, but
McCarthy and the 203 people that support him to withdraw because they don't have 218. That's what you're saying.
Look, it's obvious by tonight's motion to adjourn that Kevin McCarthy and his supporters are already getting voter fatigue. And
I asked you a simple question, Congresswoman. I feel like I'm getting a liberal
I'm not going
an
to
answer
support
from a
Kevin
liberal.
McCarthy, Sean.
Okay, so even if you only have 30 votes,
Kevin McCarthy,
you will not abide by what you told President Trump to abide by.
Which I don't believe I will be.
I feel like we've made progress.
Look, I love President Trump. You're not going to turn me on him. You're not going to pit him against me.
Not trying to pit him against you. That's what you said to him.
And I am standing.
Yeah, it was kind of ballsy that Lobo, who like basically is anything, an entity, a known entity as a consequence of Donald Trump. Like Trump made her. You know what I mean? Turning back on Trump this way, kind of fucked up. A lot of fake friends out there, man. Matt Gaetz did it too. Matt Gaetz fucking did that shit too. It's messed up, dude. It's messed up. This makes me wonder, is every person in our district also that stupid? I think there's a lot of stupid people. Langium, thank you for the 15 gifted subs. There's a lot of stupid people in our district. But they're not so stupid because like clearly they almost unseated her, so it can't be that bad. 20 never Kevers, 40 faces, yeah.
I have seen the broken trust. I have seen the lack of accountability. Well, we are getting phone calls saying that we need to stop this. Kevin does not have the votes for speaker. Period. We need to find a consensus candidate, get this right, and get our country back on track. Thanks so much, Sean.
It's